Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a rapid-fire business update for Monday, May 4th, 2026. There is just massive movement happening right now across markets and global supply chains, so let's get you caught up. 77,290. Wow. We are kicking off the trading week with an absolutely massive 700-point rally on the Sensex, and that's pushing the Nifty comfortably above the 24,200 mark. So, you're probably wondering, what exactly is fueling this incredible surge?
While the underlying momentum is really coming from a potent mix of robust corporate earnings and some early state assembly election trends. We're seeing indications of a BJP lead in West Bengal, and actor Vijay's TVK is making a massive blockbuster debut down in Tamil Nadu. Markets are basically reacting to this perceived political stability, and they clearly like what they see.
Section 1. Fiscal and Macroeconomic Frontiers. Let's get into it.
Okay, so we're seeing a really fascinating dichotomy here. On one hand, like-for-like GST growth has slipped to a 5-year low of 5.57%, but on the other hand, the manufacturing PMI just rose to a solid 54.7. And that's happening even as global tensions have pushed manufacturing cost pressures to a 44-month high. It's a tricky balance for sure.
And speaking of complex realities, get this. On May 1st, power prices in India actually hit absolute zero. Literally zero. A momentary dip in demand crashed perfectly into climbing supply, creating this totally bizarre quirk of grid economics. Crazy, right?
Moving over to infrastructure, the government just removed the height cap for hospitals. This is a super practical deregulation because it finally paves the way for vertical expansion in dense urban centers, which should really help ease those critical healthcare bottlenecks.
Section 2. Corporate Strategy and Earnings.
All right, we've got some massive corporate restructuring underway today. Tata Electronics is targeting a staggering $30 billion goal for its new semiconductor push. That's huge. Meanwhile, the Air India board is meeting this Thursday to tackle some major cost-saving measures and CEO selection. And Vedanta? Well, they've officially ended their fixed dividend rule right ahead of a major five-way demerger.
And the earnings coming in are equally aggressive. BHEL just reported a threefold jump in Q4 profit, hitting over 1,290 crore rupees. Then, over in real estate, Loaded Developers is targeting a massive 2.5-fold net profit jump to 8,500 crore by FY31. They are definitely playing the long game.
Section 3. Banking, Finance, and Insurance.
The clear theme in the financial sector right now is aggressive expansion. Punjab and Sind Bank is aiming to cross a major milestone of 3 lakh crore in business by FY27. At the same time, private lenders and Indian Bank are gearing up for significant pickups in retail and agri-credit. Also, Kannar HSBC Life is seeking expanded tie-ups, and Whiteboard is launching a $100 million urban assets fund specifically designed to pull in offshore capital.
Section 4. Global Crises and Market Dynamics. Let's zoom out a bit.
Global tensions in West Asia are creating a massive logistical tug-of-war. For example, Kuwait recorded literally zero oil exports in April. Zero. That hasn't happened since the Gulf War. In response, OPEC actually increased production quotas by 188,000 barrels per day. And at the same time, the U.S. announced Project Freedom to actively escort stranded commercial ships right through the Strait of Hormuz. It's a very fluid situation.
And of course, these global shifts cause major ripples at home. Nestle India is flagging potential price hikes, and Waaree Energies actually saw their overseas revenue drop by 20%. But there's good news too. The Indian government stepped in to reassure citizens that domestic fuel and LPG stocks remain completely adequate, effectively squashing those recent rumors and panic buying.
Section 5. Auto, Retail, and Tech.
Looking at the auto sector, Maruti Suzuki has kicked off the new fiscal year incredibly strong. They've expanded their grip to secure a dominant 42% share of the entire market. That is a massive slice of the pie.
However, fortunes are a bit split depending on where you look. Apparel retailers are officially back on a growth track following a really strong Q4 recovery. But conversely, the broader auto industry is staring down a massive 25,000 crore rupee profit hit, and that's all due to the new end-of-life vehicle rules. It's a huge regulatory burden for them.
All right, finishing up today with some major leaps in tech and sports. Foxconn successfully launched its second-generation satellites into orbit using a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. What a leap for tech infrastructure. And over in the sports world, the Rajasthan Royals have officially been sold to a Mittal Poonawalla consortium. The price tag on that sports acquisition? A staggering $1.65 billion. Yeah, billion with a B. It's a fitting end to a day defined by massive valuations, surging markets, and intense global dynamics.
So, with shifting global energy lines clashing against these massive domestic market surges, how will these dynamics shape the rest of your quarter? I really want you to consider how these macro trends might impact your own strategies. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you for our next deep dive.